I'm never gonna be happy doing anything but streaming. This has been like my dream for a long time. Just a unmedicated crazy guy. Finally got his head screwed on straight. Took a fucking trip to the psych ward. Broke up with a girl. You know, fucking got my life on track. Got fired from my kind of fired from my job for Snapchat stories, talking shit about, I'm a slave. Big Corp owns me. Lowe's didn't like I had the vest on. Some liberal from New York reported it to corporate, and then I walked out and started streaming. Everyone has interest. You weren't weird or anything? Thank you. I am weird though. No, I'm super weird, dude. I break every stereotype. Fun fact, I'm a hockey player, or I was a hockey player. I grew up playing hockey my whole fucking life. Not I mean, I'm kind of a hockey guy, but I also love Overwatch. It's kind of weird, you know? My 2 games, I have 3,500 plus hours on my Xbox on NHL 21 Overwatch Origins Edition. And sorry for your reason getting fired. Just it's whatever. That was a couple months ago. I've worked since 14. I'm a pretty disciplined kid. Played sports my whole life. I'm not an incel gamer. I've had many girlfriends. I'm social. I'm nice. I'm based. I take some points that even Nick Fuentes says that I sometimes agree with. But then I saw a clip of him that's talking about, you didn't graduate college? Fuck you. Go work in an oil rig. You're worthless. And it's like, what the fuck? What do you mean? You didn't graduate college, now you're worthless? I don't like that mindset. Everyone matters. And there should be something for everyone. I think I'm a pretty smart guy, but I didn't graduate college. And he thinks what? I'm worth nothing but an oil rig? Fuck that, you know? But I'll pick and choose the things I like from all kinds of different people. You know what I mean? That was the harsh reality that I'm trying to still get over my bias of, is I like and support somebody because I like only a few things that I take from them. You know what I mean? And I think a lot of people just do that little thing, and that's your niche on YouTube, right? That's your niche. You go on that little topic very well. But I want to do all of it. Okay? I consume all of this media as does everybody else. And so we shouldn't get stuck in echo chambers of glazing this or glazing that, but we should consider everything, okay? My channel represents the entire comment section, not just the first two, right? If they do years of test of stuff of spending of all these years, you might low-key be better than someone who took a college certification because they're trying to get. It's almost like I watched the style become gray sweatpants and a hoodie, like the mainstream over time. They're trying to create clones. It's like the people that follow in that system perfectly are already perfect workers. Send them straight to the workplace in a specific field because they're perfect workers. They'll never complain about their wage if it's this high, which honestly, there is a limit to me. There is a point where probably you could send me to go work at a department store if the salary was high enough, right? I would be a slave for this much money. And that still is kind of a poisonous mindset, but in an economy of what America's built on, that works until it doesn't, because we don't have that reality. And I'm seeing people make a ton of money streaming, and I'm not making squat streaming. I cashed out my 401 to support this, and I'm having the time of my fucking life. If I have to make no money doing this, the worst case scenario is I have a good fucking time, right? And that's a good life. If time is money, that's time well spent. Money ain't a thing if I got it anyway. If I become a big rich person, what, am I gonna go to the white party and then get used in a demonic ritual or something? Okay? Fuck no, dude. Cause the only thing that previous sex has ever gotten me is probably just it being harder to maintain a relationship in my current life. You know what I mean? If you look at somebody who hasn't had sex with multiple different women or any women at all, he would find a woman and be head over heels with absolutely no lustful bias over anyone else because he loves that woman entirely. But until you have different sexual partners is whenever that image starts to change. And if you have that changing image when you're young, in high school, you fuck a lot of girls or something like that, it's going to be harder for you to maintain one strong relationship over time because your body's been repetitioning a different mindset of that. And a virgin don't know what to say, but I think you in a good relationship, thank you, I appreciate that. But you in a good relationship, I think would have an easier time maintaining that than I would. You know what I mean? I think there are random urges where I get like, oh, like, you know, like ads. There are literally ads of like, oh, story time, this person cheated on me, this person this. Cheating is so everywhere. Story time, this, story time, that. Some guy like me can watch enough reels and enough sexy women opening Pokemon packs or something, you know, that I might find a girl like that and consider cheating on her because I've seen it in a story time. It's so normalized. Versus, like, you know.
What makes you stop that?
What makes me stop?
Yeah, what makes you not do that?
Because I'm a good person.
Hell yeah.
Because Ty's different. Ty's not like the rest. And that's why I want to be online. And I want to be mainstream. Because I'm not like the rest. I certainly am not. And I have that high and mighty mindset. And I don't have that ego. Ty doesn't get caught. No. No. Relax. Okay, but I have the high and mighty confidence mindset. Oh, I have bodies or whatever. But I don't go around flexing it because I don't think it's a flex. I think it does absolutely nothing but make me look like I can't hold a relationship.
It's okay, Todd. It's fine. Whatever. I'm just kidding.
That's all it is. And that being glorified and normalized, especially with I live in a college town here. And a lot of women come to this college for an education, and they are 18 years old going to bars because there are bars that exist in this college town to be underage bars. I'm not going to rat them out or anything, but like they're well known around town here, and it's just a thing. It's just a thing, yeah. College is now education glorified as basically, you are thrown into this bar in a college. What? No. It's not in the college. It's not in the college.
Downtown.
It's downtown. That literally is like
It's next to the college.
it's right next to it.
It's like
There is a fence separating the two. It's like a 5 minute. It's 5 minutes away. I'm not gonna rat it out. But it is this college system right here is built to make women, basically trafficable with no response, and men that can keep that secret. It wants women to drink, hook up with rich guys, and get an education. It's all mass as education. You're doing this because it's the highest level of education you can get. But while it does that, it promotes these 18-year-olds to go to these underage bars that exist for a reason and then hook up with a rich guy, a rich frat guy, because the frat guys, the rich guys, you know, they're all getting hazed so that they can keep the secret, so that they can all traffic women and become the elites that can keep their secrets. You know what I mean? It's all about high elite mightiness. And, you know, I was never in a frat. I wanted to be ever since I was in high school, but I had a hyperfixation on ice hockey. So instead, I went to college for a month, dropped out, went unemployed, depressed for 6 months, worked for 6 more months, and then went to college, played hockey for 2 years, had a fucking blast. It was D3, and I did not catch a single body my college hockey career. Wait, that's not true. But I wasn't like out partying effing girls. I actually partied in high school and didn't take my hockey career very seriously. And so I got to college and really dialed in. And then I dropped out of college for the second time because money was a factor, and I didn't really have any passion because my current girlfriend at the time was chat GPTing her assignments and was doing like way better than me. So I was just like, this is like so stupid. This chat GPT brain rot girl who was like really, you know. So I just was like, I got out of there. Yeah. Did you regret partying in high school and stuff? You know what? I'm gonna say no because I have that status, or I had that status, and that was nice feeling. But in the grand scheme of things, you're not missing out on anything. Partying in high school is just partying when you're an adult, but in high school. I'm just kind of happy I got it over with. I don't want to my goal here though is like I had a like my life experience gives me a lot of reason to have a big ego, and it's my purpose to try and like not have that as much. I want to be the best person humanly possible. Really. And I've made a lot of mistakes, and I've been a bad person a lot. I don't think lived a life without partying and drinking is missing anything. Really, it's not. The only thing you're missing out on is things that are glorified on social media all the time. I am that person, though. You're not missing out on anything. I can tell you, the knowledge I am giving you is the only thing that I've gained. Okay? I have all that life experience and all the like socializing, talking to girls and everything. It's good practice, whatever. You can do that anytime, anywhere with anyone. But all it really did was make it harder for me to hold a relationship because I'll have random urges to normalize cheating. And it's my goal to never do that. You know, I date to marry, and I'm not a cheater. I'm not a bad person. I stopped drinking entirely, actually. Once I got on certain medication, I got hospitalized because I was depressed. They put me on a benzo, and I got strip searched, and I literally have no memory of it. I was beating up a mattress, too. But anyway, after all that, I got super medicated, and I kind of quit drinking. I love drinking. I can still drink like a frat guy, act like a woo, party, whatever. But, like, you're good, man. Glad you learned from it. Exactly. And that's my goal, is I want to be better. I want to be better. I was probably an asshole in high school, but I was unmedicated then too. Medication really brought like, when I got medicated for things, it like, my head is more screwed on straight than it was before. Because a lot of the things like before, like I was drinking a lot and, you know, going to parties and stuff and doing all that, I was chasing something. I was chasing a high. I was chasing a status or something, you know, that really wasn't going to last. And if it did last, even to these rich elites who are like eating people and stuff, that wealth only lasts in this world. Once you die, all of that, you know, all of that stuff might send you somewhere bad. All that instant gratification, all of that high and mighty ego that you had during your lifetime will come back to bite you at some point. And that's after this lifetime. It's like, oh, you don't want to peak in high school, have a big ego. You don't want to peak in college, have a big ego. You also don't want to peak in this lifetime. Because once you die, there goes all your money. There goes all your wealth. There goes all your status. You don't have a high and mighty crown anymore, being rich on earth, because you're dead. And we don't know. We have no idea. And that's kind of the mindset I want to keep, you know? If I had all the money in the world, I need to keep the mind if I had none. And that's also the same thing. I use that logic everywhere. Like, if I, in Overwatch, that now displays all the stats, if I have all the best stats on the team, I try not to say anything that I wouldn't say if I had the worst stats on the team. Because when you have the worst stats on the team, you're getting blamed by some idiot. So whenever I have the best stats, I don't be that idiot who blames the worst guy. And so then I take that also. Yeah, but I have my beliefs about another life, but I'm not too comfortable discussing that. That's okay. You don't have to. But I want to be pretty open about mine, because it doesn't sound like you're insecure much about your soul. However, me, I did have an ego, and I have done a lot of instant gratification, status worthy things of this world that are pretty bad in the eyes of God, per se, right? So I am a little worried. I am repenting for my sins, but the difference is I actually have an emotional appeal. My brain is telling me, like, I need to become a better person. I need to be better. I need to not be such an evil person. There's an evil person out there who's telling themselves the same thing as me, but still being evil. And I'm trying to do my absolute best to try and not be that evil. The problem is, though, is I'm not as pure of a soul as maybe someone like you. And I actually envy you for that. You know what I mean? You can take all my experiences as, oh, I haven't done that. But as someone who has done that, I envy not having that, because now I have this poison of all of that experience. Thanks, I guess. I don't know. It's more or less like I've had an ego in the past. And if you've never had an ego, like, then this kind of doesn't make sense. But for me, with an ego, like, or who has a little bit of an ego or an ego at all, we are equals as people. That's the reality of it, no matter what. We, as a human soul, are equals no matter what. No matter how many people you talk to, no matter how many women you've slept with, no matter how much money you have, we are one human soul. And that is, we are all equal to that. And, well, it's true. This isn't something I'm saying to be sweet. This is like fundamental logic that I live by right now.
Because we're missing that in the world. A lot of people don't.
Curiosity, but not much, but not pretty much, actually. I mean, you could blame curiosity, like, oh, all of the women I slept with in the past, oh, I was just curious. No. No. That's not curiosity, that's lust. And I understand that. I understand that now. It's living and growing, but that's no excuse. I'm not just gonna excuse myself from, like, stuff like that. I've fucked up in the past. I have fucked up a lot. Okay? Maybe not a lot. I can still say I'm a good soul. I can still say I'm a pure soul. I haven't done anything too horrible. But I mean, I've caused people pain before, you know. I've, made some bad decisions. I've hurt people,
Everyone hurts.
Especially, it is illegal here.
What's illegal here?
I don't know. Well, that would be certain things like that. Certain things are illegal in certain places. Religion holds people back in certain things. Laws hold people back in certain things. I don't know though, because laws need to be there, but laws don't need to apply to everybody. But laws have to apply to everybody. But like laws in America are only built to protect the rich. And then like the people that uphold the law are corrupt, but that doesn't mean the law is corrupt. That means the people that uphold it are corrupt. It's just there's so much noise and discussion. I just want, transparency? Yes, transparency and consistency. I crave consistency. Hi, his girlfriend. How are you? How are you?
I'm okay. I'm a little sleepy. I'm good.
A little sleepy. It is about getting to that time. I take my meds at 12, and dude, I'll stay on stream until I start like literally nodding off. If you want, I take squirrel every night. The laws here are based on the religion because 99% of the people here have the same religion. So yeah.
Oh yeah.
Which I mean, yeah, I totally get that.
I bet that's a little hard if you don't practice that.
I'll bet it's hard I'll bet it's a little hard if you don't practice that religion. But it's funny, yeah, here in the States, you can practice any religion, and if you speak against it, you're actually shamed for it.
There's some religions that you can talk down to in America.
Yeah, there's some religions you can talk down to in America, some not. It really just depends on the type of person you're around. And that's the kind of inconsistency I hate, Because I've got my stances on religion, but I don't want it to be like something that we bring up to make everyone like different from each other. I don't want that to be, yeah. That's not something like, yeah. I don't want to represent a religion. I don't know, but like you're supposed to represent a religion to like an extent of war, you know what I mean? But I don't want to go to war. I want to
Religion, you know?
I mean, I don't think talking shit about any religion's the best thing. Like, people believe and cherish this. Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. And, I mean, people are all... Every person is different.
No one's hurting anyone.
Every person is born different. So why do we all have to conform to 3 different religions, right? Like, you know, theoretically, we should all make our own philosophy. But
Yes.
that's because we're, like, there isn't one religion. The actual story has been like
It could be
twisted enough times to where there's different religions and perspectives. There's not one base religion, but every person says their religion is that one off their own bias. But like, I don't, you know, I take bits and pieces of all of it, right? Because I don't know. I'm different. I don't know. I think I'm comfortable saying that I am a Muslim and stuff happens to me that are unpleasant. I totally agree. And here in America, we are propagandized to me as a white person. I'm pretty sure I am like supposed to watch the news and be scared of you.
Yes.
I'm supposed to fear you as a white, like I'm not, I guess, Catholic, but I'm sort of some Christian. But like I take some things like I take out a Muslim culture that all soldiers go to heaven. I like that. But if I were to say that, as a Christian, I'm labeled a Nazi. So I have to really stand by either Christian or Muslim or something. But we should really just, you know,
boxes. It's hard.
we're put in boxes. That's a good one, yeah.
It's all about identity too. It's just,
I can be
it's
put in
annoying.
so many boxes about like, you know, so many different things, but here you and I are having civil conversation. Right? We disagree on many things, but you have been here for the last little while and we agree on a lot too. And you seem like a very civil person. Like, you know, everything, especially in America, is presented so violently. Everything in America is driven off of fear. Politics, sales, pharmacies, fucking pandemics. If you leave the house or not is driven off what the news tells you. That's what COVID was. The news told everyone to stay inside. We all did. Because we were all too scared of spreading it to other people. You were either staying in to save yourself or you're staying in to...
got sick and died. That's like
Exactly.
proof that you
Okay,
should stay
well,
inside.
either way.
No.
Creating more separation, the news, everything. Yeah, thanks. You're really good. Enjoying chatting here. Still enjoying, though. You are not obligated to stay. It's okay. You can just stay by, pop out anytime. Most people just scroll within a second. You love yapping as well? Of course. I'm sure you love yapping whenever someone answers. I mean, yeah. I mean, it's rare I actually get people talking in chat. You know, some people might just want to look over this conversation because they might not be comfortable enough to say this stuff to me. A random streamer who also has some really, really harsh things to say on specifically Instagram. I also get really angry at people on video games. You know, I'm not, but like, you can come here with no bias of me and just totally chill because that's the kind of person I truly am. It's 7 a.m. Oh, yeah, it is. It's 4 till midnight here.
Yeah.
So I'm about ready for bed ski.
We're about 8 hours, 7 hours apart.
That's crazy. That's so cool though.
Right?
I love that, dude.
Everywhere
That's
you
so
go.
fun. I don't know. Maybe that's not fun. Maybe I'm just like stupid
No, that's
American.
not
Like,
fun. No, that's cool.
I'm just stupid
That's
American,
like the beauty
dude.
of the internet.
Exactly.
That's the whole point. Yeah, that's what it's supposed to be at least.
I do play into an American stereotype pretty hard. However, actually, I'm whiter than American, okay? I'm actually
Rose
French Canadian. Ice hockey is my main sport. I played my whole life. I suck at basketball. Suck at it. My worst sport. I am, like, objectively the whitest person. I'm wearing Stussy right now, okay? I am objectively the whitest kind of person. And I play into it kind of, but like I don't know.
Not in a weird way. Don't worry. Sorry.
Not in a white American way.
Kind of just supremacy.
I think I just play a I like being a white boy.
Yeah, like.
I'm not necessarily an American because that
Play
means
that funky music, white boy.
I am by no means am I MAGA or by like the politics here are all rigged in my opinion.
Oh,
I don't even know if my vote
let's not
matters.
even get into
We're not
that.
even. I'm not even gonna get into
No.
like yeah. Everyone,
We love
everyone
everyone.
is evil.
We love
Okay.
everyone, every person.
Yeah.
Not
But Ty loves
Dilla.
every person. Dude, love you giving a reaction. Usually sleep most streams feeling awkward, trying to open a conversation, just Yanmo shut. That's literally the opposite of me.
Aw.
I mean, but also like that's also a different form of entertainment. Sometimes, you know, I don't want to just like talk to someone all the time. Sometimes I just want to watch.
Yeah.
You know, I make content, but I do still consume content as well. And not just to leave comments. Like, and this is a newer thing for me. Like I put in just chatting, come in, say hi. I never put that in thumbnails, or like I never put that in the title. But this time I'm kind of here to talk. I want to give some opinions and whatnot. So it's nice to see someone actually stop and say hi and stuff. It's awesome. I appreciate you a ton. Mainly I streams talk to you feeling lonely and stuff. That's literally what streamers should be for. That's like that's building a fan base where you belong somewhere. And like I don't know, I'm yapping at that point, but like I don't know, that's a strong structured fan base. It's you know, somewhere where you belong. So it simulates a family. It simulates love. And that's what all desires are in human interaction, you know? All humans desire love and connection and everything. If I want to watch something while I'm eating, watch a normal video. Why on a stream? That's a good point. That's actually a really good point, actually. But sometimes I be watching YouTube videos that have chat. Just because sometimes you like reading the chat too. But that also has to do with like clipping and attention span going down and like every terrible thing that these terrible people who are running America are trying to push on us, while also monitoring the data so that they can make it even more harmful to us and more for us to produce so that they can make even more money. Fun fact, actually, EA just rug pulled everybody and went privatized for their thing. I think because there is enough money in the internal rich regimen that they don't need private or public investors anymore. They have enough rich people in that regimen. They can literally just control the economy now. And EA's involved with it. They have enough investors where they have monopoly for the rest of time as long as they have control of the US economy. Yeah. Yeah, and then now they're just making games every year, more monetized every year. But EA sucks, but but I hate Activision just as much because they're doing the same exact thing in a different style to a different community of people. It's just big companies that are trying to reach as many groups of people as possible because they saw it work with Fortnite. And so now they're just doing it with sports games. They're doing it with shooter games like Overwatch. They're doing it with all the Battle Royale games. They're doing it to Call of Duty. They're doing it to Battlefield, Rainbow Six. They all have battle passes. It's kind of just a poison because they have monopoly over all of America. So they just take over every good thing that comes to any American consumer. They just buy out, take over, and make into profitable slop. It's a poison that, like, isn't talked about enough. Anything about Activision but Crash. You know what, though? Okay, Activision is still banger, okay? Activision put out Black Ops 3 and stuff, and Black Ops 2. They're re-releasing it now, which is evil. But, like, Open My Eyes does... Oh, that's awesome. I'm happy to that. But it's low-key. It's a dark world. Opening your eyes to it is... You just see it everywhere. Every company is like that. Is just as evil as... And Activision created Skylanders. As a kid, Skylanders came out. Dude, my 4th grade class was going apeshit over Skylanders Giants. And I loved it. Loved it. I had connections to those little Skylanders the same way I have a connection to Pokemon. That same childhood nostalgia, that same banger video game. And Activision made it. And now that I look back on it, dude, it was the most monetized fucking childhood system ever. You buy a console, right? You buy a console, then you buy the Skylanders video game. Then you have to buy individual characters outside of the starter pack because the starter pack characters were weak as fuck. So you had to go out and buy more. And then you could collect them all. And nowadays they're like reselling and shit. It's ridiculous. And the Pokemon market's exactly the same. I don't really play it anymore, but I don't play it for the memories, exactly. And I collect Pokemon because I love Pokemon. I have an $8,000 Pokemon collection of cards, all ungraded. Grading does nothing but give you a number to make it worth more money. Stupid. I collect the cards because I think they're pretty and they look cool and they make me happy. I just feel like I'm doing it right. That is like, for real, is annoying. Xbox One, if I wanted to play a paid online game, you have to pay every month. You're also at a very bad disadvantage because you're on Xbox One. So my two friends play Overwatch with me. So ever since Overwatch 2 released, okay, I have a new gen console, an XS. And my games load quick, and I get to pick the heroes at fast. My buddies, my two buddies, Ben and Dorian, who I have on this channel a lot, have Xbox Ones. Their game loads slower, their player models load in worse, the game runs slower because they don't have an $800 console. And what's funny is my entire Overwatch 1 career was on Xbox One as well. With them, was on Xbox One. I didn't have a new gen console, but I had an Xbox One, and that game ran like clockwork. But somehow, for some reason, the new gen consoles came out. Overwatch 2 replaced Overwatch 1. It became 40 gigabytes bigger of a game, and it just couldn't run on older consoles all of a sudden. Well, we don't play a lot in the family. We don't actually need the newest one. I'm just a pre-4 uni student. You don't need one. You definitely don't. But like it's unfair. Like, and then I sit here on this new gen console and it's like half of the games I'm winning might just be because I have a better console. That's fucking so dumb. And what's even dumber is it doesn't have to be like that because Overwatch 1 wasn't like that. It ran like clockwork on Xbox One. But it just suddenly became 80 gigabytes, and suddenly it just couldn't run on that, on older consoles. I'm not a fan. Not a fan of that. Because I also have Xbox One games on here, like NHL 21. NHL 22 ran horrible on new-gen consoles. The engine sucked. NHL 21 runs like a beauty on a new-gen console. Runs beautifully. And it's still the only hockey game I play. The most evil thing, Resident Evil 4 remake worked on PS4, not on Xbox One, even though they were released in the same period of time. Why? Money. Money, money, money. And so if these developers and these corporations are going to let money control every single decision, I want to run a YouTube channel, okay? Who's not a big YouTuber who's relying on money or anything. Just a small content creator with nothing but transparency. And even when I get the money and stuff for being mainstream and whatever, you guys can hold me to my morals. You guys will know when I'm not being transparent. You will be able to tell the difference. If I get compromised and cloned when I get popular, you guys will know like that. You guys will know immediately if I become mainstream or just non-transparent. Everyone will know. And that's my goal. You will know. No. You don't even have to stick around at any point in time. If you see a video from me that you end up clicking on, and you just look into it a little bit, and you're like, it's not just an anger spurt. Like, you can tell my vibe. If the vibe's off, you know. You know. Always trust that gut instinct. Always trust that gut instinct. If your brain's telling you something, it's not for nothing. Always listen to it. Always listen to you. Because that doesn't apply for other people. It only applies to you. If your brain's telling you something, always listen to it. Honestly, like, if you were playing a Sims character, I have a question. Like, do you regret your past mistakes? Or do you just think you've learned from them? That's a good question, actually. I think I want to say I regret them, but I don't think that I am fully humble in the mind enough to say that I fully regret all of my instant gratification decisions. For example, I do still have a bias on, like, I've had a couple partners in my life. So I still, like, I have that. I can't ever get rid of that. So, like, with that, yeah, I do regret that now, but I still have sort of like a, that's good, because society has told me that's good. Society has told me that as a man, sleeping with a lot of women means high status. So I still kind of have that a little bit. That poison mindset I'm trying to kill and eliminate, but I don't want to say I've fully eliminated that poison from my brain. You know what I mean? I want to remain humble enough to be like, I still have work to do. So, no, I don't want to fully say that I regret them. I can't fully say I regret them, because part of me probably doesn't. But when you can, like, live with it and control it, is it kind of bearable? Yes. Do you think you'll get rid of that poison one day? That's my goal. That's my goal. I don't know. Cuz it's kind of put like in the eyes of, like, can a girl who has slept with so many men, who devotes the rest of her life to Christianity, does she get considered a good Christian, right? Because you're like, oh yeah, she's a good Christian for 80 years, but, and you can't really let in the buts all the time. But you want to keep everyone equal, you want to make everyone happy, obviously, you know what I mean? Like, so I just don't want to give myself all of the benefits of a clean mind or someone with no bias at all. I have bias, and I totally do. I mean, if she stopped completely and changed, no one can call her over her past mistakes. Yes, exactly. But, like, to actually make that true, she has to, like, want to, right? So, like, if I want to become a better person, a better Christian, and not sleep with any people, I will stay with this woman and then not cheat on her and not break up with her over lust. That's kind of what I'm proving to myself right now. Because, like I was saying, like, having previous relationships like that is, definitely going to give me extra urges like that. Exactly. It's normalized more in my mind a little bit. And I'm trying to beat that. Because I don't want to ride that high and mighty for anything, because that's not what I should be celebrating in life. I should be celebrating progress and real achievement and things that are viewed high in religion. You know what I mean? It's just also like, that, and just staying true to me as well. I'm not controlled by religion. I am a little bit, I guess. I'm still learning, right? I'm still trying to figure this out. I'm not God himself, right? I'm not above him. I am not even close. I am a child. I'm just, I try to stay humble. I'm trying to be the best person I can. Thing is, though, my demeanor and attitude, so that's pretty good. I'm glad you're trying to say I was in a bad period in time. I was drinking a lot. I had a relationship. I had a lot of relationships. Dating. I had a lot of dating ones. One relationship though, we kept breaking up and getting back together. Relation controls you so much as well. Yeah. And that's not a bad thing because relationship provides you with value in afterlife. You know what I mean? Having sex and having a lot of bodies only gets you status in this life. Religion has value outside of this life, and premarital sex in my religion does not. So there's really no reason to practice it. But social media says that's good, and you gotta do that. And, rap songs, fucking bitches and stuff. It's, you know? And that got so celebrated and normalized in America. And, in high school I got there, and I was just fitting in like everybody else. But now I see that that's kind of, propaganda. But I think it's good to be controlled by religion. But again, I think you as a human were given a life and free will to do whatever you want. I think really, when it boils down to it, good people do bad things. But what separates a good person from a bad person is just in their mind. I've done bad things, but in my mind, I am really a good person. I want to be a good person. And so whenever people tell stories about me, I want them to say good person. And I think a bad person has that same mindset only for benefit on himself. He is only kind whenever it's given value. He doesn't want to be kind if it doesn't hold any purpose. There's no point in doing it. There's no point in giving good graces just because. There's no point in smiling if no one makes you laugh, which I kind of understand, which is like autism sometimes, but like you need to have a balance. Like I think I'm autistic because I think differently. I think super logically like that as well. I don't like having small talk, useless interactions a lot of the time, but I'm willing to do so sometimes because sometimes I want to make other people happy, but that's not all the time. But sometimes I do want to make other people happy. Sometimes I want to do that, but I don't owe that to them unless I do, right? I don't, still figuring it out. Feel it pouring your heart out too. Because I feel like this stuff isn't talked about on the internet or like this opinion because they want you to think black and white. Algorithms are black and white. Comment sections, top comments is either one super popular opinion that has a lot of likes and then one comment that has a lot of replies and not a lot of likes. They don't even want you to explore outside of that. They want you to see that, pick a side, move on. On to the next problem that you're picking a side about. And then you get off your phone because you got an ad and you're like, oh, should I go to Target or Walmart because they have better prices, they're a better location to me, or I like this color better, red and blue. Oh, I'm going to choose. Whenever I was younger, whenever I was 4, I picked a college football team, Oklahoma, because I thought their logo was cool. That is about as far as the illusion of choice actually gets you. It's all the same shit, but you think it's different, but it's not. No discussion, no listening to each other's, no trying to fix this together. It's argument without consensus. It always bothers me, and that's why I had to make a YouTube channel. Because constantly, in specifically Overwatch, that's why I'm Elite Gold's Overwatch, I've been hyperfixated on this game for a while. There's so many arguments, the old game versus the new game. This game's broken, this game's balanced, the rank's good, the rank's bad. Exactly. So many problems, not a lot of solutions. People like talking about the problems because people like complaining. But I don't like seeing all of these problems with no solutions. I'm seeing all these things happen, and developers make a statement once every 3 months and then release an update 4 months later that doesn't even patch the bad glitches. Because you know, if people are still talking about problems, problems are still people talking about it. So they need people to talk about it. So they rig the matchmaking to keep everyone unhappy, to make the stats look good, so that everyone has to believe that everything is fine, and then they can argue about it online. It's all just noise because they're manipulating it behind the strings. They're manipulating everything behind the strings. The matchmaking in Overwatch is now manipulated. The loot boxes are now manipulated. It's all now currency. You got to pay for it. It's all the rank doesn't mean anything. Everything is, you know, and it's all made like, and that's what I'm arguing. I can feel the difference between an honest system and a dishonest system. I know the difference. I can tell. Especially with something I'm hyper fixated on with Overwatch. I can tell. And really, right now, no one believes me. I'm at a point right now where I'm having to, like, people are calling me, like, LARPing, like, because I fall under the stereotype of an Asmongold incel. You know what I mean? Of a conspiracy theory Alex Jones hooligan. Who might be, like, Nick Fuentes hyper-Christian racist. You know what I mean? And I'm just not. I'm Ty. I'm a legal Ty. I break every stereotype echo chamber you see online. And that's what I'm trying to be. Companies now are putting respecting the player as a priority. You are spot on. They're prioritizing people to spend money. And I think they're prioritizing people that do spend money. I just don't know that. And that's why I'm losing. Because I'm not spending enough money. That's why I'm in ELO hell. The girls who play Sierra, the broken aimbot hero, who spend all the money, who aren't any the wiser, are getting really high rank. And everything's built for them because they're spending the money. So yeah, they're going to dumb the game down so that people like me, who are good at the game, stop playing. Because I'm not spending any money. And now it's to a point where it's not like, I'm my head's starting to spiral. I apologize. I need to go. I need to take my squirrel. Squirrel as in Seroquel. It is a medication that sedates me to the point of like drunk almost, because I am not able to sleep at night otherwise. Maze, it was an incredible time. Ooh, almost happens everywhere. In FIFA, if you were the best player ever, you won't be able to win if you didn't spend your money today. You'll start your day then. Fantastic. I hope you have a banging day. Absolutely tackle it. Your mind is in the right spot, my friend. Bye-bye, stranger. It's been real. Have a good one. Same here. It was a good time. Good to meet you, dude. Cheers. Peace out. Thanks for watching, fellas.